Calgary Flames general manager Craig Conroy has spoken out about where the team lies in terms of the trade market, and they're reportedly still buyers. Not only are the Flames looking to acquire a player or two, but we have a massive update that the Flames are now open to trading away one of their first round picks. But it's easier said than done with all of the previous trade conditions, so what can Conroy do? We're going to get into all that and more in this video, but first, I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. And this is a bit of a crazy one, so let's get into how Conroy would move picks for sure. And that is a quote from the main man himself. And I know this is pretty shocking, and I know a lot of people will say this isn't the news of the day. Talk about Anthony Mantha. Don't worry, there will be a video later today about Anthony Mantha. Make sure you look out for that one right around maybe puck drop time later today. But let's get into this article here. So it comes from an interesting source. Obviously, I can't read that language. I believe it's Russian, but it's the translated version, I think, of a up-and-coming website. I think it's called RG. Either way, it came from my most reliable source, which is Mr. Josh Goss, the host of Habs Digest, and he said it was totally legit. So let's get into this. I would move picks for sure. Conroy eyes younger talent in Flames' rebuild. So Flames general manager Craig Conroy discusses the team's rebuild, challenges with conditional draft picks, and plans to trade for younger talent. So we do have, a bit of a trade update here, and now we're throwing in that the GM is ready to trade draft picks. That is pretty crazy. The Calgary Flames have been progressing through the restructuring of their organization since last season and focusing more on a retool on the fly than a full rebuild. Last year, the Flames had several key UFAs, giving GM Craig Conroy the opportunity to stockpile picks and players within the team's targeted age group. However, as Conroy told Jim Behringer, I'm not too sure who that is, but things are more complicated this season, particularly as he looks to improve his team via trade, as one of his first-round picks remains tied up with the Habs due to the 2022 Sean Monahan trade. What a fantastic trade by Mr. Boston Pizza, Brad Tree Limited. Everyone give him a round of applause. That one put us in such a great spot. It makes it tough because if we wanted to make a trade involving a first-round pick, I guess we could use the Devils' first-round pick, Conroy explained. Oh boy. But with the Florida first-round pick and our pick in play with the Sean Monahan deal, it does make things a little more difficult right now, to be honest. So Conroy recognizes how difficult of a situation it is involving these picks, but just us hearing that these first-round picks are potentially up for grabs, I don't know for you personally, but for me personally, alarm bells started ringing in my ears, and I was thinking, we want to give away a first-round pick, or picks in this case. That is absolutely nuts to me. I didn't think that would be a route that we would go. As Conroy noted, the Flames currently hold 3 conditional first-round picks, but one is tied up in the 2022 trade that saw Calgary send Monahan to Montreal in exchange for future considerations. God, you gotta love when you see someone with future considerations on the back of their jersey at the Dome. While this move freed up cap space for the Flames to sign Nazem Kadri to a 7-year, $49 million contract, it now complicates Conroy's options on the trade front. Again, I don't really know who's out there that the Flames would want in terms of these younger forwards kind of thing, but I don't know. Is it worth giving up a first-round pick, especially when we don't exactly know which ones we'll have? Obviously, it's complicated, but again, it's also strange to me that we still are in somewhat of a rebuild, retooling, reconstruction, whatever re-word you want to use. It just, to me, I'm not too sure that a first-round pick would be something I want to give up. It was so hard acquiring first-round picks through trades last season. Why would we want to give any away? The Flames have 2 of their first-round picks tied up in this trade, their own and that of the Panthers, which was previously acquired in the Matthew Tkachuk / Jonathan Huberdeau / MacKenzie Weegar trade. According to the trade conditions between the Panthers and the Flames, Florida's first-round pick will go to Calgary as long as it's not a lottery pick, meaning the first or second overall pick in the 2025 NHL draft. Based off how Florida's doing so far this season, I think it's safe to assume it will not be that. But that's the easy part. It gets more complicated when you get to the trade conditions in the Monahan deal. Unless the Flames' first-round pick ends up being a top 10 selection, the Habs will receive the better of Calgary's and Florida's first-rounders. Should the Flames fall off after their strong start this season and end up with a top 10 pick, then the Habs will receive Florida's first round pick. So essentially what I'm hearing here is, as complicated as it is, and I think most of us are familiar with these conditions by now, it's impossible to make a trade involving these picks until we know what pick they have, essentially, until after the NHL draft lottery. So it's complicated. It's complicated. And it's a strange update. I mean, the main thing to know is obviously that picks could be in play, but all these ifs nearly make it impossible for Conroy to have the clarity he needs to pull off a deal with two of his most valuable trade chips. Here's a quote from him. "I think as the season goes on, we'll have a better understanding of how it's all going to play out," Conroy added. "Then we'll be able to work within those parameters a bit better. That understanding will be about knowing not only where they are as a team, but the full value and availability of their biggest trade assets. However, in the short term, it looks like the Flames appear to be looking to add at the moment rather than sell their existing assets for futures. If there were a younger player we could grow with, that would make more sense to use a first round pick. I wouldn't trade for a 31 or 32-year-old, but I'd be willing to move picks for a younger player for sure," says Conroy. And again, it'll be interesting to see if the Flames still want to add, especially after the Anthony Mantha news, which again, video later today on that. But very, very interesting update here. And again, it's complicated for sure, but let me know down below what you think. Should the Flames have first round picks in play on the trade market, or should they stick to trying to acquire more futures? I think I know which way I lean, but again, let me know down in the comments. Let's get into tonight's game because it should be a very, very fun one. The Flames are finally back in Calgary after that 3-game road trip, and they have a game tonight at the Dome at 6:30 p.m. against the Los Angeles Kings. The Kings looking quite good so far this season, so it should be a good matchup. Obviously, as you see there, it's November 11th. I do quickly want to say, a happy Remembrance Day, of course, unless we forget to all those that have fallen, and it should be a really good game. I'm sure the Flames will do some sort of tribute for that. And the big news is the transaction, of course, happening here is that the Flames have recalled forward Adam Klapka from the Wranglers. I don't think he will right away be in the lineup tonight. Again, though, recording this before the lineup is kind of being, confirmed in a way, but as we know, he's probably coming in because of the Anthony Mantha news, but still great to see Klapka coming back. I know a lot of people think he never should have been sent down, and I think this obviously creates a great opportunity for him, so we wish him the best of luck, and of course, wish the Flames the best of luck tonight against the pesky Kings. Now let's get into the comment of the day to wrap this one up, and this was a great comment here from the one and only Guitar Memoir, a classic around here on the channel. He said, "Special teams haven't been very special. They are costing us points. No Coronado in the shootout," and that's extremely, extremely true because the special teams have been abysmal lately. The power play has looked so bad, especially over that road trip, and agreed. Why wasn't Coronado in the shootout against Buffalo? Instead, Kirkland went out, which was interesting for sure. I mean, nothing against Kirkland, but as hot as Coronado has been, you'd think he would have gone in for the shootout, but obviously the coaches know better than I do, so whatever. It happened. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe like you saw here today. Make sure you look out for a video later today and have a wonderful rest of your day.